can help me alert the others. Tell all are one.
Coming up on Crossfire Collectibles, the Fantastic Model FM-02 MARGH. Stick around. What's up, and welcome to Crossfire Collectibles. Today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Fantastic Model FM-02 MARGH. This is a Fanstoys Masterpiece Scaled Ultra Magnus. Inside would be a white prime bot, and the outside would be the armor. The trailer of the actual convoy itself would be the armor that goes on them, something that some fans have been looking forward to for quite a bit, and I'm pretty excited for it. So I really picked this up for more of a nostalgic take on Ultra Magnus. I did have him when I was younger, and I thought that the inside bot was pretty cool, so this is something I was also looking forward to. Now, unlike a lot of the other videos that are out there, I'm not going to go ahead and spend, you know, 2 videos up to 40-50 minutes a piece doing the entire transformation. So this will strictly be a review, comparison, and I'll show you a couple of in and outs that you could do with the Ultra Magnus straight out of the box. But first, we're actually going to look at the box. Sorry about the frame. I've actually moved this little portion of my area around the room, and my larger area is kind of deconstructed at the moment. So bear with me while I have minimal space for this one. But you can see the front cover here, Fantastic Model FM-02 MARGH. There's a nice little artist render of Ultra Magnus in vehicle mode right here. Off to the side, you have FM-02 MARGH. You also have QR code if you'd like to scan it. You got FM-02 MARGH and choking hazard on the bottom. On the back, FM-02 MARGH. There's a couple of shots of the Ultra Magnus in vehicle mode. Again, down here. And here is some shots of the white prime. Very cool. Off to the side again, FM-02 MARGH. Fantastic model, and the QR code once again. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get him popped open. But first, please subscribe to the channel. Alright, so now I opened this already just to peek at some of the contents. So we're going to go ahead and slide out this nice inner styrofoam piece. Get out a little instruction booklet. And let's go ahead and adjust some things. I'll throw everything up here, and then we'll go over it one by one. Alright, so here is MARGH straight out of the packaging. As you can see, he looks pretty good, very G1 accurate. I love the metallic sheen of that blue that's like kind of just bursting off of his armor. It looks really, really good. I think the arms, especially these smokestacks over here, are a little more proportioned with the body. The antennas, I think they're pretty good. They might look bigger on camera, as I've seen, and I've also discussed this with Mel over at Way I Got It Figured, how in person they look more proportioned to the body. So that's one good thing about it. We'll go ahead and show off his manual here. So this is a huge booklet. As you can see, 50 pages, man. That's just a lot. So again, I'm going to keep this more time consumed and not worry about doing the transformation in this video. But regardless, it's very cool, and I'm going to show you some cool stuff with it. Along with that booklet, you also get this little card here. Check out the back. Now, accessories. I do have everything out on the table. Sorry you can't really see too much of it down here, but I will pick it up and show it off. So first, we get this little sprue here. He's got actually 5 extra pieces of, you know, kind of his glasses, his shades. So all in that metallic blue. You have some thinner ones going up to some wider ones, and they can be interchanged. Then you have 5 additional faces. So I'll show them off here. You have this more kind of like agonizing pain look. This is more of a kind of same, you know, grunting, teeth showing. This one's kind of sort of a frown face. Over here you have that smiling face, and then this is more of a confused, maybe sad face, depending what you wanted to use. I'm pretty fond of the plain normal face he has already on his head, so I'm going to leave that for now. And then an additional head that he comes with is this one right here. So you get half Ultra Magnus, half White Prime. Very cool. So that was a really neat addition they added to this. I really like that. I think it's awesome looking. Very, very nice. One good thing too is it's easily swappable. So you simply slide the head off. I'll actually show it in the video to show you how you can take them on and off. Pretty easy and simple. So when you take all the armor off, and if you decide to transform him just into the White Prime, you can also give him this blue Energon axe that'll snap onto either hand. Simply just fold that hand in. There's a little attachment that you plug to right onto the wrist, and you can have that Energon axe on his arm. Next, you have an extra pair of his chest panels. The ones that come on him, you have the two translucent windows right here. These are all solid red plastic. You can simply unplug them and then plug these in. We'll show that off as well in this video. Next, you have his shoulder rockets. You see the white launchers with that red metallic rocket on the inside. So you can unplug them, and actually is a complete rocket. So that's very cool. I do love that they added these. Very nice looking. And then finally, we have his blaster. So here it is. Very G1-y cartoon look. Really, really nice. Definitely like the look of this. So you got that very light violet color. You have that kind of greenish in the inside, which also are some of the panels on the White Prime. And this would go to the Ultra Magnus here. If you wanted to use it for the White Prime, you're going to take this hand tab, fold that in, and then you would fold that piece up, flip it around, come over to this side, and untab that part, bring that down, and then you have a secondary blaster. So very cool. For this one, we're not going to use the White Prime, so we're going to untab that and get this piece back out. Hold that off to the side, and we're just going to use the Magnus blaster for this one. All right, now for Ultra Magnus himself, he's pretty hefty. A lot of die cast in him. He's a very heavy figure, and he looks great. I went ahead and just threw him in this simple pose for the beginning of it, but we're going to go ahead and get that off. And I'm probably going to start with some articulation on him. So starting up at its head, first I want to go ahead and show you, you can simply grab this piece here and slide the head completely off. Very easy to do. So the heads are interchangeable and hardly no issues at all with doing it. So that looks great on him. I wouldn't mind keeping it like that, but I want a full G1 Ultra Magnus. And if you were a fan of the show, you never saw the inside of him. So it doesn't matter. I don't think he was a White Prime. This was Ultra Magnus. But anyway, very cool. The head, here you have a full rotating 360. The head can angle forward about that far, up that far. No side to side because it is on that hinge joint. The arms, these were interesting. So they are on a ratchet and can rotate a full 360. There's a hinge right here of die cast that goes outward right there at the bicep. There's also a swivel at the bicep. So to get the arm out to the side, you're going to pull that smokestack off to the side, and you can put that arm up there just like that. So it's some pretty interesting mobility up there on the arms, and it looks really nice. Down here at the elbows, you do have that single joint. So right here, the arms can come up about that far. Down at the hands, you have them on that ball joint. They can rotate a full 360. Ball joint at the thumb and a pin. And down over the fingers, you have one pin and it looks like 2 extra hinges in each of the fingers. So all the fingers can articulate in, out, up, down, whatever you want to do with them. So very cool. He doesn't really have any waist swivel, but if you separate top right here, you can move them a bit just like that. Part of the transformation, but then you have that huge gap in there, and I don't really want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of pop that back down like that. Around the waist, you have those hip skirts. So you got the 2 side flaps that come up, the 2 front ones. Underneath, you can look, you can kind of see some of the White Prime. His flaps are down under there. The front 2 are folded up. There you can see that green tealish color on the ones that will come down in front of you. And around to the back, he's got that back flap right here. There's a little bit more we got to show you with this, but we're going to go finish up the legs first. So down here at the hips, legs can extend out to the side about 90 degrees, just like that. And they're hefty and they hold really nice. You can bring the leg forward that far, and you can take the leg back just about to where you can't go past them flaps, about that far. Nice ratchet in there as well. You have thigh swivel down at the knees. You do have a double jointed die cast hinge there. Very nice. And then down at the feet, you do have that rocker that comes out pretty far and you can go back up. So really nice. Now, Ultra Magnus comes out of the box like this, but we want to make him a little bit taller. So down here, we have to do a little moving around. So first, we want to go ahead and take his legs and bring them out. And then you want to take this blue piece and untab that right here. You can bring the legs forward if you like and do something like this. So this is a little tricky to actually do at first because these tabs are very, very tight. So we got to get that inner white one out. So around to the front, we can actually start pulling this out some. It would be part of, you know, taking the whole skirt off, but we don't really need to do that. So I'm gonna get this tool. I don't have a spudger handy at the moment. So I'm gonna take this, spin that around, and we're gonna untab this right there. And we're gonna pull that back. Get these back flaps up, and then we wanna take this piece and fold that in and bring that down a little bit. Then we want to take our Magnus. So we take them and then we're going to fold this up right to where it's against that die cast piece right here. And then we're going to take our legs and pull them back here and here. Make sure everything's back in at the front. And then we're going to bring that cod piece back and we're going to tab it right into the bottom right here. Put these flaps back down all around, and we got about a ½ inch of height out of our Magnus by doing that, and he came untabbed, so let me get that plugged back in. Alright, so we want to go ahead and take a look at the chest here. So what we want to do is go ahead and open these side panels up, get a hold of that piece and lift that up, and there you can see the inner white prime chest. These are pretty snug, so we kind of pull them apart. Maybe one at a time is a little bit easier. And then you reveal the inside. You have that matrix chamber. You go ahead, lift that right up from the bottom. And there you have a die cast matrix of leadership. And we pop that out, get you a closer look at it. It's got that nice translucent blue right there in the center, and the gold chrome around it, as well as the silver chrome on the outside. Nice weight to it and looks good. We just want to go ahead and show you that real quick, but we're going to pop it right back in. We're not going to use it for anything. And then we'll go ahead and close that back up. Push that back down and close these up. But actually, I shouldn't have closed them up first because I want to go ahead and show you these extra panels here. So they simply just untab, just like that. Pretty simple. And then you can bring in your flat all red ones and go ahead and plug them in right there. So there you go. So now you have that all flat look. I kind of like the translucent window. It's really nice, but this would probably make it a little more solid, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and take the other one off just to show both of them together in, and you all can judge if you do get this, you know, decide how you want it. So that would be the solid red chest right there. I'm actually kind of fond of the other one, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these back off and swap them out. All right, there we go. We got them back in. So now, there's not too much more to him. Showed you his articulation. We're gonna go ahead and probably go ahead and gear his gun up. So you just take that little tab. You can put it on either hand because this piece does spin around, which is nice. We're gonna go ahead and make him a righty for this one. And go ahead and plug that in right to his hand right there. Wrap the fingers up, give him a nice grip. Fold that thumb down, go. Get him in some pretty nice poses too, which is good. Kind of like him just standing there like that. But there's lots of stuff you can do. Down here on his thighs, if you want, you could flip these panels just to show off that little teal green again, that you would kind of just flip and fold over if you were to put him in his white prime mode. And around to the back, you can pull this piece down and show a little more of the white prime pieces. Like there you can see a little bit of the trailer. You can see the smokestacks up in there. So some pretty cool stuff, man. There's a really complex transformation. Maybe if I have some time in the future, I'll do it, but there's a lot of other great reviewers out there who do them, so I would probably recommend watching one of them if you have some time to kill, because like I said, it is pretty lengthy. I think one thing we probably could do is maybe show you his leg. So this is one part that's pretty neat. So we can come around to the back here, and then we're going to untab this piece here and pull that panel open, lift that out, and you kind of want to just rock this piece out, get that lifted up and out, and you can pretty much get that up and out. You can pretty much just slide his leg right on out. So I'll show you his white prime leg. So you got the lights on the toes right here. In the back you can see the tail also. You can flip that around for the white prime look, you know, just like that. Or when you go to put him in his truck mode, you know, we have his tail lights right there. I see some issues with his stance, so you got to do some stuff down here with the feet so he stands properly, because it's not really stable with that little flat platform right there. And you can see there's a bit of a height difference, so when he doesn't have his leg armor on, he will be significantly shorter. To get that back on, you simply just take his foot, slide it right on back down there into the armor, and then you're going to bring this piece back up. Watch out for that little tab there. Get that folded up and in. Get that nice and crunched together. Bring that piece in. Lock down. Closed up. And nothing to it. Pretty simple. So the armor all comes off pretty easily. I'm not going to take the top off. You know, just see the cab of the white prime. And then the waist skirt here, you'll just see a lot of die cast unless we fold down those inner flaps in there. But yeah, so that's our Ultra Magnus. I think we're going to go ahead and throw on his shoulder rockets here. So one thing about these is they have the two grooves where you actually have to put them, and they can't rotate. So that kind of sucks. They're kind of stuck in that pose right there, so you can't angle them or anything like that. But they do look good, so that is a major plus. Get them on there like that, and we'll kind of bring his arm up like so. We'll go ahead and get his hand back up on his waist. I thought that looked pretty nice. You know, kind of fold them fingers down. That thumb right there on the top. And that's a pretty good pose for the Magnus. So now let's go ahead and show off some comparisons. Here he is with the FT46 Tesla. Then here he is with the FT17 Hoodlum. With the FT19 Apache. And finally with the X-Transbot's Commander Stack Young version. So while we have them both out, looking at them together, they actually look really good together. You can see the wideness of the arms and the smokestacks on the X-Transbot's version. Back over on the Fantastic model, much thinner, more to proportion in my opinion, a little more G1 accurate. He just looks good. This is more based off of, you know, the old school G1 toy model, especially in this color. And I used it with some of my Only Human figures. And it looks really good with them together, especially with the Ultra Magnus, since he had the lighter colored blue suit. But I think this one's going to take the cake and replace him as part of that set. But they stand pretty close. You know, if you stand them straight up, they're pretty spot on. He does have a bit of an angle, and I want to say his antennas on his head stand a little bit taller than the X-Transbots. It might not look like it from this camera angle, but believe me, in person, the X-Transbots is a bit shorter than the Fantastic model. Alright, so now I think we're going to go ahead and toss him up onto the turntable, and then we will give you some final thoughts.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Crossfire Collectibles.
Crossfire Collectibles.
Crossfire Collectibles.
Crossfire Collectibles. And knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe.
We now return to the Transformers.
Alright, so here you have it. The Fantastic Model by Fanstoys. FM-02 MARGH. A Transformers masterpiece scaled Ultra Magnus in all of his G1 glory. This bot is absolutely amazing. He looks great. I love it. It's definitely taken a centerpiece in one of my shelves. He is a really, really nice Transformer. Apart from anyone who's gotten him yet, we've had him for about a month. I wasn't even going to do any type of review on him, but I figured, I might as well show something off, give you guys a few details in case you missed any during your transformations, or in case you're just curious. But he is absolutely lovely. I love that little bit of metallic dust that he has in that blue kind of showing out. It looks really nice. How you can interchange those front panels right here on his chest. Those are awesome. The extra head here, you know, showing half White Prime, half Ultra Magnus. That's really awesome. Lots of different faces and eyes that you can swap out. And you also have, if you do your White Prime, you can do the blue Energon axe. So lots of good stuff with him. I like how you can interchange his blaster, so you can use it for Ultra Magnus or the White Prime, either way. The rockets, they look great. I love that the rocket can actually come out, but when you can't rotate them up there, that's kind of a bummer. The articulation on the figure is pretty nice. I love it all the way around. He's got a lot of die cast in him, so he's pretty hefty, and he's overall very stable. He looks good. When he's in the White Prime mode, you know, those bottom feet, they aren't exactly stable, but there's a little trick you can mess with them. I'm not putting them in that mode, so I'm not going to show it in this one, but I'm sure somebody out there has one that you can definitely watch. I just think it's really cool that you can actually take the armor off and go back to the old school toy and, you know, make your White Prime if you wanted to. I wasn't too fond of them. I thought that the Ultra Magnus was a little bulky when I was younger, but, you know, times have changed, and this figure looks absolutely great. I would definitely recommend picking him up if you guys don't have him, if you want to add him to your collection next to him or the X-Transbots versions of Commander Stack. You know, they're pretty much equal as far as details go. I just like the proportions up here better on the upper arms and shoulders. I think they look a little bit better. I love them hinges, how they both the stack and the arm can come out so you can lift the arm up. So it's really a neat take on the Ultra Magnus here. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please, like always, leave that giant thumbs up, subscribe, tickle that bell so you're notified when we post future videos. Be sure to follow us on social media. And until then, we will see you in the next one. Peace.